Welcome to Unplanned Podnancy, the only podcast on the internet where animals are vegetables.
What are chickens? Tell me.
Vegetables.
Oh, just all vegetables?
Yeah, the chicken is a vegetable.
Okay.
That's how this
I
works.
see. They're not one-to-one like chickens and carrot. They're just vegetables now.
Yeah, no.
I got it.
Animals don't become pre-existing vegetables. They just are now classified as vegetables. Nothing changes about the chemical makeup of the animals either. They're just vegetables.
Oh, okay. It's just a new definition. I got it.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
We're just fucking with the English language now.
That's fair. I like that.
Chris,
Yeah.
how was your week? You had a vacation. What'd you do?
I did have a vacation. What did I do? I slept some. I didn't sleep enough. Had long nights, had short nights. It was a mixture of things. In the beginning, I got up and I left, and I just went around town and went to places I hadn't gone to and tried some I tried some new restaurants, and I went to some shops in downtown, and just kind of did a day that I thought that some people would normally do, just go out and go to shops and stuff.
Tried to be a functioning member of society.
Yeah, I tried to be normal, I guess. I did what I envision normal people do. What people would have done in the 90s, basically, is what I envision a normal person to be. Someone that just goes outside and visits places. I found that real uninteresting.
And it sucked.
I was just yeah, okay. The second day, played World of Warcraft.
Okay.
Which
nice. Did you play Classic or?
I did play Classic.
You played Wrath.
I did play Wrath. Stayed up too late that night.
Yeah, well, that Wrath will do that to you.
Wrath will do that to you.
Did you enjoy it? Are you still playing it? Or
I am still playing it. I got 280, and I geared up and ready for next release tonight. Just so people know when this is recording. If you play Wrath of the Lich King Classic, this is being recorded on the night that Naxxramas Classic and Wrath got released. Nice. Yeah, so played that. The rest of the week, I cleaned the outside of my house, used a power washer, got scrubbed down the outside of the house, did some yard work.
Damn.
Enjoyed some just TV and stuff. Read some I read a couple books during that period. That's something I haven't done in forever. Whoa, I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's a whole series by the authors. It's a 6-book series by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, who are writers of Dragonlance novels, but there was a period where they had a falling out with Wizards of the Coast, so they went with another company and wrote a 6-book series, and I started that, and I can't remember. I think it's called the Dragon Gateway series or Chronicles or something like that, and I can't remember. The names of the books aren't great, but I picked those up a couple years ago just because I was fans of the stuff they did with Dragonlance.
Right.
And I just hadn't read the books. I was I got a vacation and I want to do something different. So I read a couple of those.
Nice.
Let my plant get a little sickly because I forgot to water it.
That's why there's no plant pics.
Yeah. It's doing better, though. It's recovering. And that's about it. It was really actually enjoyable to just
that sounds great.
Do different
stuff.
Like
you just did what you wanted to do and didn't have to worry about work.
Yeah, it was really nice. And
it's actually the best kind of vacation. But we've already been over that.
Yeah, and I avoided playing just video games the entire time because that's something I didn't want to do because I knew I could.
Right.
So and I successfully managed not to do that. So that was nice. What about you, Matt? What did you do?
Last week. Was that last week?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I went to Nashville to visit a couple of friends from high school, and we went and saw Bring Me the Horizon in concert. That was fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It's the second time I've seen them. The show was better than the first time I saw them.
Ooh, that's nice.
The crowd was one of the rowdiest crowds I've ever been in. It was pretty crazy. Like, they're a metal band, so you would expect a little bit of moshing and stuff. This crowd, I think, was particularly active, and I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was where it was or just like the certain combination of people that ended up being there. But anyway, it's pretty crazy. It was a good show. And then over the weekend, I didn't do a whole lot, but this upcoming weekend, I'm going to Kentucky with my mom and some of my family members, and we're gonna hang out in Louisville and visit some distilleries and stuff. And yeah.
Well, while you're in Louisville, you should go to the Louisville Stadium baseball team, Louisville Sluggers. I think they have their own stadium.
Louisville Sluggers are the bats.
Yeah, well, you can get down in Louisville. You can get mini bats,
right?
From like the actual production plant, which is pretty neat. You can get a tour of it.
Pretty nifty.
That's the only thing I know about Louisville.
You know what? That's pretty cool. I'm probably not gonna do that.
You don't want a mini bat?
I mean, it's not that I'm completely uninterested. It's just probably not something I'm going to make time to do.
Yeah, no. That's something I did when I was like 10. Right. And so I was like, I can relate. This is my chance to say something. I know something. Yeah.
Chris, do you know what today's topic is?
I haven't got a clue what today's topic is.
We have another fan-suggested topic.
Oh.
This one comes from John. And the topic is, what would we do if we were living in the apocalypse? And if we got to choose our apocalyptic future, what type of apocalypse would we like to live in?
Oh.
Which I assume means like nuclear or like virus apocalypse or like heat death of the planet.
Whoa.
That's a big one. That's a big question.
Big. Wow.
I want to tack something onto that too. I want to extend his topic.
Okay.
If we were living in a post-apocalyptic future, what type of jobs do you think people would have? Like, so.
Okay. Wow. This is heavy. There's a lot to unpack here. Where do we start? I guess the best place.
I guess with what type of apocalypse?
Yeah. Okay.
Probably.
I think for me, I'm gonna pick zombie. I think that's where I'm gonna choose my base to start from, and so we're in the future, like where people have survived, but it's post apocalypse, right?
Yeah.
So
this is like Zombieland.
Yeah. So yes, post apocalypse of zombies. That's where I will choose to be. How about yourself?
Okay. Man. I don't know. So I'm tempted to say nuclear apocalypse. But because Fallout makes it look so cool. but real nuclear apocalypse would probably be worse. Like, it probably wouldn't be cool. It would probably actually be like you have to bet on radiation causing something cool to happen for nuclear apocalypse to be cool.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think zombie apocalypse does have the most going for it in the sense that, like, you're defending yourself against an enemy. Because, like, what's the Will Smith movie?
Not iRobot. It's Legend of No.
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend, yes. Yeah.
That movie's fucking cool.
It's a dope movie. Is that post-apocalypse, though? That's, like, the height, or, like... He's the last.
The apocalypse is currently.
He's the last person like alive. That's not post. That's
true.
The end.
I'm gonna go with to make it interesting. I'm gonna go with nuclear apocalypse.
Okay. See, I think you hit on exactly the reason that I chose zombie though, and I think a lot of this is me saying something about humanity as a whole. I think humans want the zombie apocalypse. They want to be in the zombie apocalypse and survive the zombie apocalypse so that they can kill zombies.
Answer, but continue. Yeah, right.
I think that's something that so many people want to do because people are fucked up in the head and they're like, I want to kill things that look like people and not get in trouble for it. And that's zombies.
Yeah, it gives you an excuse to murder.
Yes. It's a license to kill and to kill without restraint.
With no remorse.
Yeah, just hordes and hordes of people. Like, what was the Capcom game? Not Land of the Dead. I
know what you're talking about.
Where
the one that's basically like it's like if Saints Row was a zombie apocalypse game.
Exactly. Yeah, why can't I?
I know what you're talking about.
I don't know why I can't think of the name of it. There's like 3 or 4 of them. But yeah, you get to just run through with like lawnmowers and chainsaws on like mop sticks, and you're just mowing down hordes and hordes of zombies. Left 4 Dead, mowing down hordes of zombies. People love killing zombies.
People are also banking on their ability to be like good at combat.
Yes, but this this scenario has guaranteed my survival, so I'll take it. I'm already in the post-apocalypse. I made it.
Enough.
Made it through the apocalypse.
Yeah. Shooting zombies would be fun. Like, would living in a post-apocalyptic world where you constantly have to worry about zombies like invading your living space, like that would be stressful. You'd never get decent rest.
Well, it depends. It depends how civilization reforms, I think.
Right.
Because if you get like makeshift cities back together with perimeters and fences and like a lot of people patrolling the fences and like mounted guns on the walls, and they're actually like taking care of it and shit like that, and people are working together, then
that sounds fun.
Yeah,
it sounds horrifying, but it sounds fun.
Yeah, you could actually get a good night's sleep knowing that people are doing their job patrolling the walls. If people changed and actually did their jobs correctly. But
I think when shit hits the fan real hard, people's work ethic is going to change.
That's true.
Like when it literally becomes a matter of life and death, I think people are willing to put in the effort.
Yeah, but but in the post-apocalypse, when we've already got these cities set up, and you've got a large group of people patrolling together, does everyone's attitude stay that way, or do they start becoming more relaxed and complacent? Yeah.
Yeah, and then you'll get like a new generation of people that are just like, fuck it.
This is just how shit is. The zombies never attack, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who's died from a zombie attack.
Yeah, and then it happens again.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you're probably onto something there, for sure. I mean, eventually, aren't we going to run out of zombies to kill, though?
Eventually, I would think, but...
Is this a virus that keeps spreading and turning more people into zombies?
Let's just assume that something like 90% of the population gets taken over by the zombie virus. I mean, 10% of the population killing 90% of the population, that's going to take a while.
That is going to take a while. For sure.
It's going to take a good chunk of time. So I think we've got a little bit of time to just enjoy killing zombies.
I mean, early on, like, one person's going to have to kill, like, 2 or 3 zombies a day. But, like, later on, one person may kill a zombie or 2 a week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right. This is probably going to be a thing that lasts for at least a couple generations of people.
Yeah. Because you're going to set up your city in one place, and you're gonna like slowly spread out from there and find more zombies as you clear land. So,
okay, here's the interesting thing about the zombie apocalypse. The zombie apocalypse probably isn't going to take out like technology and stuff. How are you envisioning that this zombie apocalypse happens?
Right. Well, there's several different ways the zombie apocalypse could happen. Right. So there's the slow virus. So we've got multiple types of viruses and we've got multiple types of zombies. So let's run through this real fast. We've got the type of virus that spreads through the air and just sweeps across nations and infects the majority of people.
Right.
Horrible. Then you've got the virus that has to be passed from person to person with a patient zero, which spreads far slower. Then in types of zombies, you've got your classic zombies that move slowly and kind of like zombie walk along. And then you've got like your World War Z type zombies where they're just like have forgotten the restraints that their brains put on their muscles and they're just faster than people and they're just sprinting around. So
those are the scariest ones.
Yeah, those are horrifying.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah. If we were in scenario airborne virus with World War Z zombies, humanity loses. Hands down. Yeah. Humanity's fucked. They're too powerful and there's too many of them. We lose. There is no post.
And how are you going to keep people from getting infected?
Yeah, you're not.
You're
not. Once it's in the air,
that's going to wipe out humanity.
Yeah. Humanity's done.
Toast McGill.
Yeah.
But if we're talking like Shaun of the Dead zombies.
Yes.
Like worthless zombies.
Yeah. Now that's survivable. So we have to take our needle and move it more in that direction. Now you could maybe do some kind of hybrid thing and make a new type of zombie where you're like they start out super fast, but as their metabolism burns through the stored energy in their muscles, they become the other type of zombie until they're trudging along. So like for a day they're super like fast and then they like slow down. Something like that. But if they stay fast, you're fucked. You're going to need them to not be superhuman. Or if it's
like just the occasional fast one.
Yeah. Then you're okay. So I think we're sitting somewhere in the zombies are kind of slow. They're worse than human territory. I think passing through bite. I think passing through bite might be too easy to survive. I don't think there's gonna. If the plague passes through bite, I don't think it will spread fast enough to cause an apocalypse.
Yeah, that's stoppable for sure.
Absolutely. The first person that gets bit, that person and patient zero are both going to be killed, immediately.
That's not going to spread any more than rabies does,
right?
And we see how big rabies of a problem rabies is. Yeah. I mean, it's not an insignificant problem, but it's not destroying our society.
Yeah, it's gonna so this virus has to be airborne. It has to hit a population. That population has to turn. Now we can say that something in their body when they die, like spores are released, and it continues to be airborne. However, this virus works. So this is the kind of zombie thing I'm envisioning, where you can't be too close to a zombie when it dies. A mass amount of the population gets hit at once, and then it spreads. But the zombies aren't overly terrifying.
Okay, so in this situation, you're envisioning a world where basically you wake up one day and this has just happened basically overnight.
Pretty much, yeah.
So let's say you wake up one day and you go on the Twitters or whatever and you see that this is happening. What's your immediate reaction?
My first reaction is, ooh.
Ooh.
It's going to be a little bit of fear mixed with a little bit of excitement. That's going to be the initial reaction. The first thing I'm going to do after that is I'm going to figure out, assuming that the headline didn't just say where, I'm going to find out where it was.
Let's say you're close to ground zero. Like, let's say it's like the next city
immediately getting weapons. As many weapons as I can find.
Everybody's already done that. 100%.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have to be fighting people for other weapons.
Well, luckily I have weapons, so
okay.
I am prepared. Not zombie level prepared, but I do have some weaponry. So I would grab...
Ammo's going to be an issue.
Yes. ammo would be an issue. Here's the thing. So ammo in the United States, luckily for us living here, has more ammo per person than any other country in the world. Ammo is quite abundant in the United States also. Most towns have more ammo than people. So, luckily, if you have a gun that has a 9mm, that uses a 9mm bullet, if you can find a gun store, you can probably find ammo. Because there's so much 9mm ammo in those gun stores, it would be hard for it to be ransacked unless it was by like a couple hundred people. You just couldn't carry enough of it as a single person. Like,
I don't know.
Like your local gun store probably has like 10,000 cases.
Everybody's gonna want guns.
Sure.
Though, and ammo.
Yes.
Like,
but what are the odds that enough people get there fast enough to take all 5,000 cases of the 9mm ammo in your local gun store? Plus all the shotgun shells, all the rifle ammo, everything.
I think people are going to immediately react by just buying insane amounts of stock. Like,
it's a lot, man. There's a lot of ammo in just one gun store.
I mean, in a decently sized city, you only need like a couple dozen people who are willing to drop like 15 or 20 grand on just buying a shitload of ammo.
This is true. Well,
and I can't say that if I didn't wake up in the zombie apocalypse, like a likely zombie apocalypse, that I wouldn't be willing to spend several $1,000s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
well, I guess you will, if that's the situation, you're going to want to have a 9mm because it's the most common bullet size, right? So that should you find ammo, it's most likely to be 9mm. Instead of buying it, actually finding it, it's most likely to be 9mm because someone else died or something. So you'll be able to use it. And then you're going to want an uncommon ammo type, so it's less likely to be bought. Like 44 caliber is a pretty uncommon bullet type because most guns take 45s or 40s.
Now you're thinking.
So a 44 caliber would be an uncommon size. So they're less likely to get taken. So if you have both of those, you're more likely to find ammo. If you just wake up in this situation, though, go ahead.
So like a 9mm pistol, you're probably gonna want like a 22 rifle too. I don't know how much damage you're gonna be able to do to the average zombie with a 22, but that's probably gonna be easy to find.
Yeah,
ammo for
that would be easy ammo to find
on.
as well. Yeah, you're gonna want the easy to find ammo guns. And you're going to want the offshoots so that you can be like, if I go to a gun store, it'll probably be there. Yeah. I think that's how. Now, if I just woke up tomorrow and it was like that, yeah, I'm limited on ammo. I have enough to protect myself in my home, which is a case. So what would I do in that situation? Assuming the zombie apocalypse hasn't already just like ran over everyone, I'll probably drive away from it, being realistic, and like.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Because I'm just not gonna fight the horde like front line. Fuck that. That's stupid. I ain't doing that.
Yeah, that's the other thing that you do 100% is stock. Well, I mean, gasoline goes bad though. That's a problem.
Yeah.
You're definitely gonna want to get some gas though.
Yeah. I don't think you stay near ground zero though. You leave.
Yeah. That's probably the best course of action.
Yeah.
Is to just fucking book it.
Yeah. You 100% leave.
And that's probably I don't know if that's what they're going to recommend people do either, because they don't want people leaving because they're just going to spread it to other areas of the country.
That's true.
If they do that.
That's true. If you are near ground zero, the military is going to lock down your state.
Yeah.
You're not getting out.
Yeah, are you even gonna? If it's gotten so bad that you saw it on Twitter, are you even gonna be able to?
That's true. Yeah, let's backtrack. You're not getting out. There's no way. There's no way that if it breaks out in the town next to you, that your town isn't gonna be locked down.
Right, because with COVID, like, they almost immediately told people to stop going state to state, and that was, I mean, that's something that kills like 0.1% of the population or something like that. They don't. They don't. It's a virus that's actually actively causing people to kill each other and turning people into zombies. They'll waste no time.
Yeah. So now I'm like forced into the situation where like I have a limited amount of ammo. I can't leave the state. So now I have to defend myself from like this initial wave of zombies. So I have to be able to fight. So now my choices become find people to align myself with that got a lot of ammo, or take the ammo.
Now you're thinking. What I would be doing is absolutely trying to find groups online that are banding together and figuring out what they're doing. You don't want to try to weather it by yourself.
No, this is terrible. That's a terrible situation to try to do by yourself. But if you are going to do it by yourself, you're going to have to go ahead and realize that you are now a murderer, because you're going to have to kill people for ammo. This is now part of your reality if you want to do this alone.
You think it's going to get down to the point where you're going to have to kill other uninfected people to survive?
Absolutely. At the height of the apocalypse, not maybe at the beginning, and hopefully not at the end, definitely not post, but at the height of the apocalypse, if you are trying to survive, there are going to be opposing factions of humans that want to do things specific ways, and you're going to kill other people to get ammo so that you survive. 100%.
Yeah.
And for just for resources in general, clean water, clean clothing, soap,
is that
antibiotics.
Going to become, in a zombie apocalypse, is that really going to become that rare though? Because what makes clean water hard to find?
Well, if any like zombie bodies fall into a water source, the water source is fucked.
I guess, like in rivers though, as long as they're not upstream, it'll probably be fine.
But if it's like your local water,
I guess it depends on how contagious this is.
Yeah, there's a lot of variables to it. Like if you couldn't drink the well water if a zombie fell into your well, no, you're fucked there.
I mean, rainwater, I'm sure would be fine. You can collect.
Yeah, rainwater would probably be okay.
In the Midwest, that would probably be all right.
Yeah.
We'd probably be okay with rainwater.
Yeah, you don't want to do that in like China
or on the West Coast.
Yeah. That's going to be no good. So, but depending on where you are, different resources are going to become scarce.
That's fair.
Antibiotics, I think, is going to be one of them that are going to become hard to get.
Yeah. It's also going to shut down, even if we're able to contain it in a way that like civilization is still existing in like different locations of the country, it's going to shut down supply lines.
Yep.
Or at least slow them down.
Yeah. Because
there's going to have to be border checks and shit. So like just trucking supplies from one side of the country to the other. Like there's stuff in plenty of places around the country that people need to survive that they can't get locally that has to be shipped in.
So yeah. Like things like medicine as well. Like if you're a diabetic and you need insulin, that shit's not going to be shipping around the fucking country anymore. And now you're going to have to murder people to get insulin.
Now I'm almost feeling like maybe you are better off on your own at a certain point. In the early stages, you're probably not.
Right.
The other thing, though, is teaming up with people and like going and like actively meeting up with a group increases your chances of getting infected. Because you don't know who may already be carrying.
This is true. Yeah. Yeah. The more people around you, the more people that are likely to get bit, and the more people there are that are likely to lie to you. And like, if you run into an encounter, here's the thing: if you are with a group of people and you run into a zombie encounter, the people, and then you survive, after you get out of that encounter, everyone pretty much needs to get into a room together and strip down nude and check each other over.
And yeah.
Because you can't trust everyone else in that room to be like, no, I didn't get bit.
100%.
Because if you got bit, you know that everyone else is going to have to fucking shoot you in the head. Like,
right, yeah.
So you're going to lie. Die. Unless you're just like a truly good
person.
Why,
though, if you know you're going to die anyway?
Because here's the thing. We don't know, and the people in this apocalypse wouldn't know that being a zombie is being dead. It could just be a different mental state.
If I knew that the disease was going to make me start killing people and attacking people, I would want to get killed. Though I guess you wouldn't know that there wouldn't be a cure somewhere down the line.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. Yeah, like an aerosol-based cure. But also, is it any different than the life you're already living? Because as a human, you're killing zombies and maybe other people to try to survive. As a zombie, you're killing people to try to survive. What's the difference?
It's just a different team.
It's just a different team, man. A red team, blue team.
But the zombies are actively attacking people. Like, without the zombies, there wouldn't be an issue. So the zombies are the problem.
But who's to say without humans, there wouldn't be a problem either? Because
if everybody was a zombie.
If everyone was a zombie.
Then what's the food source?
Historically, in zombie movies, zombies don't attack each other. Just saying. Now, is that the way it would really play out? Don't know. But typically in zombie movies, that is how it is. What would be the food source? That's another good question. Then the zombies might just die off on their own. Unless, well, if zombies are alive, they could reproduce. As long as they...
So now the zombies are fucking...
Now the zombies are fucking... Zombies. If the zombies got the urge to reproduce. And that's kind of the key point here. Does this virus turn off all parts of the human, like, will to, like, carry on and progenate?
I mean, this whole thing brings up a question I've had about zombie movies and games. Is like, in the zombie movies and the games, the zombies are attacking the humans. But there's always way fewer humans than there are zombies. So if the zombies need to eat the humans to survive, how is it possible that they're staying alive, that there's enough humans for them to eat, that they're staying alive? And if...
movie media zombies, I don't think they make a whole lot of sense.
No,
I think zombies are a little bit different. If we were to design a zombie that actually functions as its own, like, creature type, it is different than Hollywood zombie.
I guess it could not need food to survive, and it just happens to be extremely aggressive.
Yeah. I like to believe, this is how I not like to believe, this is how I would see a zombie. The zombie comes into creation, and they can photosynthesize like plants. I think that is a real easy way to solve the food issue. Their cells photosynthesize. Great. All they need, water, oxygen. Cool. Better creature already for the most part. But they're hyper aggressive, and they can sense humans because of the dopamine in their brain. Zombies don't produce dopamine. So they attack humans to eat the brain to get the dopamine.
It seems like you've thought about this before.
Nah, this just makes sense to me.
Okay.
There has to be because I'm sure I've read pieces of this shit before in other places, because the typical like zombie phrase is brains. Why brains? It has to be something in the brains that they want. What's in the dopamine makes sense if it's or something MDMA. Or MDMA. Any chemical in the brain. Any chemical in the brain you could choose that zombies can't produce it. They don't need it to survive, but they want it. And so any feel-good drug fits that role. So they hunt down people to get the dopamine. Once the people are gone, the drug source is gone. They stop being addicts, and they get to live off the sun and water. And they're basically just plant people. Now,
it's not MDMA. MDMA is what's the
yeah
DMT? Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's aside.
Yeah, the wrong drug, whatever. It doesn't matter. Sure. Yeah. So it's not some feel good chemical in the brain. I don't know. I just think that makes more sense for the way for zombies to function. And if they function that way,
I mean, I think that makes sense.
They're a different race.
Humans are just drugs to the zombies.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. And if that's the case, it doesn't matter who wins. And it doesn't matter if you get infected or not.
So you're saying that the struggle between humans and zombies is morally gray.
If the zombie race is sentient and just like humans, but with different motivations, morally gray.
No, they have to be, because if they were the same as humans, they would have to be able to reason and understand that just murdering humans for their own pleasure is wrong.
If we do it to cows and chickens and all other types of animals.
We don't just rock up to a cow and just, you know what, you're right. We don't have to eat meat. We choose to because it tastes good.
Yeah. And we hunt out of pure pleasure.
Yeah.
All the time.
Well, yeah, you might be right. We might deserve it.
Yeah, and there's
anything.
And here's the thing. And there could be this virus, this make-believe virus could do all kinds of stuff to your brain. And it could just see humans as a really big threat. The uninfected could just you could just suddenly get this instinct that they are a large threat and need to die.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think you're onto something. I think that's a whole debate in and of itself. I think we've derailed a little bit because we've gone from apocalypse to now we're just debating the ethics of if something turned humans into some other race of people that wanted to kill humans.
Yeah. But but how we got here was, if you got bit, would you willingly let other people kill you? I don't think the majority of people would.
Okay, fair enough. So you're going to have to be careful around people.
Yeah.
You're going to have to, yeah. So, all right. So then what are you doing? Are you going to try to weather it yourself? Or
I will find a group of people and work with them until we get into a sticky situation. And as soon as that sticky situation happens and we get out, I'm leaving. Because I am not taking the chance that someone got bit.
Okay. I just have a hard time figuring out how anyone would be able to store enough materials and defend themselves on their own.
You're putting stuff in a backpack. You're traveling.
Okay.
I don't think you can hold up by yourself. You just have to keep
be
moving.
A survivalist or something. See, I think in a situation like this, anyone who isn't a prepper or a survivalist already is just fucked. They're just gonna die.
Probably.
There's just no. They just stand no chance.
Yeah, almost certainly.
The only thing that's gonna be left to reestablish a society is gonna be crazy preppers and people who are survivalists.
Yeah, most likely.
Bear Grylls types.
Which, is that the worst thing? I don't know.
No, it's probably gonna be like a better race of people.
Yeah, they'll be ready.
Yeah. So.
But, this scenario
good job,
says
all those people.
I get to survive. Because it's what do I do during the post-apocalypse?
Yeah, that's fair enough. So back to the original scenario. Say all this happens.
Yep.
Say you survive.
Yep.
Say we've gotten to the point where there's still zombies rocking around and there's small civilizations that have cropped back up. What do you see your role as in that situation, and what would you want it to be?
Honestly, in a post-apocalyptic world, again, not a prepper, not a survivalist, so I probably did ride the coattails of some people to survive.
You mooched.
Almost certainly. I think that I would probably take up security as my profession and volunteer to like walk the walls and like go on the hunts with teams to kill zombies
Really?
because I didn't get to kill a lot of zombies during the apocalypse because I wasn't highly skilled at it.
Right.
And I was mooching, so now it's my turn to go out and take out the aggression and just kill zombies.
You're going to be a zombie hunter?
Be a zombie hunter.
Okay. All right.
Because I don't want to clean latrines.
You don't want to clean what?
Latrines, toilets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I thought you said you didn't want to clean the dreams. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What? Yeah. And I mean, what kind of jobs are realistically going to exist? Because you're not going to have like computer networks and stuff like that for quite a while.
See, but is that stuff actually going to shut down? Because a lot of those systems just operate on their own without anybody doing anything with them. Why would the power shut down? Why would, like, because in a nuclear apocalypse, like, the power grid is wiped out and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense. But
well, who's maintaining the electrical grids and stuff during a zombie apocalypse?
I mean, I think you're going to have volunteers. You're going to have people who were engineers and stuff that haven't been bit yet that are going to show up and try to fix things.
Yeah. But I just don't know how easy it is to fix, like, a section of the power grid in the United States.
Yeah, like if all of Texas goes down again.
Yeah.
Like, who's fixing that if a good portion of the population is zombified?
Yeah, I just don't know.
It's probably going to degrade at some point. You're probably right.
I just don't know how easy it is to maintain that stuff in an area. Because in the United States, there are, 3 power grids? East, West, and Texas. So if part of East goes down, like, how hard is it to maintain just a portion? Like, just an area? I don't know.
Like just a city?
Yeah.
Get back online?
I have no idea how the power grid actually works.
Yeah, I don't know enough either to be able to tell you. Like, can you get one plant working? I don't know.
Surely a city is technically able to function on its own because, the power goes out in some towns and not others all the time. So.
Well, not every city has a power plant, though. Like,
right.
They bring it in from elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, the load on the power grid is going to be significantly less.
This is true.
So, I don't know. I think people are going to, like, jerry-rig up parts of the grid with, like, generators and shit and just hook them in. And
yeah. But, again, you're not going to need IT people, probably. Not for a while. Like, who needs someone doing software support right after the apocalypse?
Nobody cares.
Exactly.
Absolutely nobody cares.
Nobody. You're not going to...
Yeah, your current job is not going to be there.
Right. Most IT jobs aren't going to be relevant unless you're, like, a network engineer.
Or unless you're part of, like, some super small society that just happens to be full of people who have no idea how computers work, and you have a reason to get computers back online, like maybe like point of sale systems or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe POS systems.
You could be like a small town's like computer guy.
Yeah, I could see that. If you have electricity, you might want to get POS systems back up running so that you can keep track of sales and start getting some kind of economy rolling again. Maybe. That sounds awful. I wouldn't want to do it anyways. I'd rather hunt in zombies.
Yeah, because you would never, like,
I didn't survive.
You'd have to be, like, constantly people's bitch. Like,
yeah.
They'd be like, Chris, go down to Rodney's general store like at 6 o'clock in the fucking morning, because his computer's not working and he can't keep track of stuff in his spreadsheet or whatever.
I did not survive the apocalypse to go back to working on computers. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, no, I probably wouldn't do that either. I told you that I would change my answer.
Yep.
So nuclear apocalypse, I'm gonna dip out on that one because I don't think there's any way that actually ends up interesting. Radiation isn't gonna create crazy monsters that you have to kill because Fallout nuclear apocalypse is fun for all the same reasons that we just covered that the zombie apocalypse is fun.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna get that. I mean, it's just gonna be less people living in a radioactive wasteland and constantly having to be careful about what they drink, what they eat, where they go. It's just gonna be it's gonna be shitty. It's gonna be terrible.
Yeah. It's Chernobyl, but everywhere.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be fucking awful.
Yeah.
So, and everybody you know is gonna get cancer in like 5 years if they survived. Yeah, no. So, I'm changing mine to like a new ice age.
That's new ice age.
Yeah. So the apocalypse happened because the Earth's climate got everything got too cold, and nobody can plant life and shit can't survive. So the likelihood of me surviving, there's gonna have to be some survivors to this, but the likelihood of me surviving an event like this and being one of the few people who does is fairly low.
Sure.
Because the only way you're gonna survive this is to happen to be in a lucky group of people who establishes some sort of underground, functioning, small, I don't know, a terrarium for people. There's going to have to be some sort of way for people to set up generators that they can run some sort of climate controlled building on, and they're going to have to be able to grow plant life and shit inside this, which means that they're going to have to be able to keep certain parts of this human terrarium at the perfect humidity and the perfect temperature, and they're going to have to somehow have had access to seeds and stuff for enough varied plant life to grow food inside this terrarium. And so the likelihood of being part of that super low. But
yeah,
I think if you were, it might be kind of cool.
It would be cool. And I think it's Switzerland or Sweden, somewhere over in that area of Europe, there is a biorepository with seeds from every plant.
Right, yeah. They've basically just tried to take all of plant life and kept samples of it in case something goes extinct. They can grab it. And, yeah, that is fucking dope. So maybe you happen to be in a small group of people who had access to something like that. I mean, how many plants do you really need, though? I mean, if you go to your local co-op or something and just took every seed that they have, as long as you were able to successfully grow these things, one generation of these things underground, you may be able to get them to reproduce and stay, continue a crop. And how many crops do you really need to survive off of? Probably not a whole lot.
Yeah.
You got some fruits and some corn and some wheat.
Fruit, corns, and wheat. That's all you need. Yeah, actually, that's true. What do you need? I guess, yeah, fruits, vegetables.
Water's easy because you just melt the snow that's piling up outside.
That's true.
So water's easy. You're gonna need some sort of store of energy, the the ice age has presumably come about because there's not enough sunlight, so solar panels probably aren't gonna work.
Yeah.
So you're gonna need gas coal or something like that. You're gonna need a large stockpile of that, and you're gonna need generators. Um, so I don't know how you're gonna do that, but
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, well, there's generators in a lot of places. I guess the thing is, if everything's covered in snow and
yeah,
ice, it's
yeah,
gonna get real hard to move around and uncover stuff.
yeah. I mean, like you're gonna have to be able to see this coming at least a little bit in advance
Yeah.
and like gather some shit together.
So,
Um,
but after this apocalypse,
right.
when are we looking at a civilization that has survived in some kind of bunker?
Yeah. So what I'm imagining here, and the reason I think this is cool, is it's basically just gonna be like fallout shelters under a bunch of snow, and everybody's gonna be living inside like these tunnels and bunkers and stuff. And eventually, society is gonna reestablish itself underground, and I mean, they're probably gonna be able to like drill tunnels and stuff and get more oil
Mm-hmm.
underground eventually somehow. The crops are going to establish itself. Maybe some wildlife has survived, and we're
Ooh,
like breeding cows and shit underground. Um,
maybe.
basically, it's just going to be a trimmed down human society underground, and that's going to be pretty dope. There are going to be crews of people whose job it is to go out and like fare the negative 100-degree weather or whatever, and like run cabling from one of these bunkers to another bunker and stuff. So you're gonna have computer networks going back and forth. That'll be cool. I
Is
don't want to be one of the people who is helping maintain that though, because I don't. I didn't survive I didn't survive the ice age to fucking work on computers either.
you know, it's just the fact that you said that though. That was the premise of that PlayStation game from Hideo Kojima. What's the name of that? Death
Yeah, Death
Rising?
Stranding. Death
What?
Stranding.
Death Stranding. That was the
Yeah.
entire premise of that. I didn't beat the game, but after I spent like 15
Oh,
hours walking
running the
around,
cabling and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's all that was.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, no, I was absolutely thinking of Death Stranding when I was talking about running the cables from bunker to bunker.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely going to be people who are on crews doing that.
It's crazy to think that
Um,
would actually be someone's job in this scenario, but it would be. So,
it
so
would
what
totally
job
be.
would you want?
So, all right, that's. I was gonna bring this up in the zombie apocalypse because if I survived the zombie apocalypse, I'd want this job too.
Okay.
I want to own a tavern or a bar. I want to be like this small civilization's like local bar guy.
I like that.
I don't
That's a
know.
good choice.
I just think it'd be cool. It'd be a pretty chill job. It would be you'd get to know all the people. You get to just hang out, chat, run the bar. Everybody likes you.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Um,
you bring the liquor. Of course they like you.
yeah. So, and I mean, eventually you would probably run out of stockpiles of liquor and stuff. So you would have to either figure out how to make it on your own or
Mm-hmm.
employ someone who knows how to distill.
Yeah.
But if you can grow potatoes, you can get yeast, and you can get hot water. You can make alcohol.
This is true.
So, doable.
Yeah, I don't even think
Definitely doable.
you don't even need yeast. I don't think.
Yeah, I think you have to have yeast for things to ferment.
But it naturally occurs in the environment over time. As long as you just let potato mash sit, eventually it'll get infected with yeast.
I mean, is the yeast already underground though? Is it already in this closed environment?
That's a good point. Is the yeast already in the air? That's a very
I mean,
very
it
good
doesn't
point.
really matter. It doesn't really matter.
Sure.
In this situation, it works. Somehow it
Yeah,
works.
sure.
So, but it's definitely doable.
Yeah.
To make your own alcohol.
Oh,
to run
absolutely.
this tavern off it.
People
So,
make alcohol in
in
prison.
prison.
Yeah. In Bruno. Yeah.
So yeah, That's what I would do.
That's a
I would
dope
establish
choice.
a tavern, and just because I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd be the guy that everybody likes because I make their lives underground slightly less miserable.
Yeah. I feel like I made a bad choice with my job now.
No, you get to hunt zombies.
Yeah.
Zombie hunter sounds like a fun ass job.
But barber would also be a pretty good job in both these scenarios too.
Really?
Just getting to listen
You'd
to
want to
people's
be a barber?
stories and cut their
Oh,
hair.
yeah. You could zombie hunt for a while and then retire and become a barber.
That's
and then
true.
listen to other people's zombie hunting stories and share your zombie hunting stories with them.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to have stories to be a barber, I feel like. Like, you've never gone to a barber and they're just quiet.
I have before, but the best barbers are always back when I was in Nam.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Every good barber I've ever been to has told me some sort of story about back in my day.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've been to both barbers and hairstylists, and the best ones are the ones with stories, the ones with something to say, the ones that can help pass the time while you're sitting in a chair doing nothing while they fiddle with your head.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
man. Frozen Wasteland would be cool. That one though. See, in the zombie apocalypse, you could travel. And in a frozen wasteland, you're not going anywhere. You're staying in that bunker.
I mean, that's what's interesting about it is you got to make the most of what you got, and that's something that appeals to me is taking, making, more out of less. So, I like the idea of that. I mean, the underground tunnels are going to expand.
This is true.
We already went over that. Like, people are going to dig further.
Yeah.
And build more stuff.
That'd be cool to watch. Just this underground city expanding. That'd be dope.
That'd be fucking sick. And you're gonna have this multi-tiered Iron Forge type city that's just spun up.
Yeah, especially if you if the right people survive, like the right kind of engineers and manufacturers survive, you'll end up with some really cool city.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
That'll be dope.
Yeah. I gotta give it to you. I think that as a experience post-apocalypse, that one probably sounds nicer to just enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah, because you get to spend your life as the dude at the bar, and you get to just spend your years watching the perseverance of society and seeing what they develop.
Yeah. That's dope.
And that sounds sick.
That sounds awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if there is an apocalypse, I hope you get your drink.
Me too. I'll probably just freeze to death.
More than likely.
Or we'll make it underground, establish something that lasts for 5 years, and something will go catastrophically wrong.
Just an earthquake.
Or we'll distill some alcohol that just makes everybody go blind.
I didn't really know what I was doing. I'm sorry.
I tried. Shit. All right. Well, I think that covers it. Is there anything else you want to say?
Man, I don't know. The apocalypse is a real cool thing. And there's so many ways for each different type of apocalypse to go. In terms of the zombie apocalypse, just how people react and how they interact with each other is a whole other category that we started diving into and got off topic with. And a Ice Age type scenario, there's questions down the line about what kind of creatures are evolving and what's happening on the surface, because animal life is also going through changes, and
there's stuff that survived the first Ice Age, obviously.
Yeah, and so what's happening up there? what kind of bacteria and viruses are coming around because of this. Like, there's just a lot of stuff that you could get into and a lot of different scenarios over time. We didn't even get into like the future of these civilizations after the apocalypses. So there's a lot of ground to cover in these scenarios. So if you would like us to dive deeper into post-apocalyptic stuff and what happens after the post-apocalypse and the future of society in any kind of scenario, let us know.
Yeah. This is a real broad topic that I think we could go on forever about. Like, we could make a whole fucking podcast that's just this topic.
Oh yeah,
probably. So yeah, we briefly touched on a bunch of things. If you have ideas about specific post-apocalyptic scenarios that you think you want us to like play out or talk about, let us know what those are.
Yeah.
Because I think that'd be fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. As always, you can go to unplannedpodnancy.com. You can go to our merch page. Check out the merch. On like 2 podcasts ago, I said that there was going to be a new merch page, and there isn't yet. But the new merch page is made and waiting to be published. I don't know if that's going to be out by the time this comes out at this point, but it is coming. And you can check out our social media pages, and if you go to our YouTube, there may be some extra content there sometime soon. So go check out our YouTube page too. Chris, is there anything I missed that you want to talk about?
No, I don't think so. If you haven't gotten a chance to check out Podnancy Plays and see our short ran series of gameplay videos, check that out at Podnancy. It's Podnancy Plays on YouTube, or you can go to unplannedpodnancy.com, and there are links there. If you like to leave comments directly on any of the episodes, feel free to do that on YouTube as well, and we'd love to read those. I think that's it for me.
Tell somebody about Unplanned Podnancy.
Yeah, share.
You can do that for us.
You know you love this. Share it with someone. Yeah. Share it with someone that you really love or someone that you hate. Send it to someone you hate. See how they react.
Yeah. Fuck it. Just tell people. Tell people this exists. All right. That's all I got.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, John.